this video, I'm rolling with Gil and Mario.
We'll just do 5-minute rounds, you know. There's only 3.
They are 2 blue belts at the school. We have prior videos with each one on the channel. I'll put the links in the description. I've rolled with both of them when they were white belts, and you can see how far they've come. So now we're just discussing the rounds. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to have a few rounds. The school was closed. It was a snow day. And my friend is fortunate enough to have this space at his house.
And every time somebody grabs me like that, I know they train with me.
Well, re-grab, right? So I grab.
So I'm teaching him the value of re-grabbing.
Yes.
Okay.
Somebody grabs you, you grab them.
That's what I was doing until they
Don't just look to strip the grip and run away.
Nice. There we go. Oh my God, I'm losing already. Oh, getting pissed.
So Mario got his blue belt about a year ago, and he's been training pretty consistently. And his skill is growing exponentially. Whereas Gil just received this blue belt when I got my brown belt. And, you know, he has less time, less experience. So we're 3 different levels. So for the beginning of this round, what I'm doing is, there's the cat that I promised, is I'm just defending. I'm just resisting with as little effort as possible. That's what this 2 minutes has been. Just resisting as little effort as possible. That was my first attempt at an attack. He's a young, strong guy. He was able to base and avoid letting me get him on top so I can sweep him. Now, another thing about Mario, I've rolled with him enough times where he knows what I like to do. And that hurts when you're going against a young athletic guy who knows what you like to do. Makes it more of a challenge. It's a good way for me to sharpen my edge and not risk getting injured. So here he's trying to switch his hips to clear my hook. He's looking for a knee slide, but I had my knee shield in. Again, I'm just kind of waiting for him to make a glaring mistake. So here he's trying to flatten my legs by getting over my knees with his armpits, essentially.
See, everything I'm doing.
And that makes it easier to pass. But I created space and backed out. The create space principle. So this is my first offensive attack. I hit him in the face there by accident, and he continued without complaining, which is what I told him. Always try to continue unless it's a major injury. But these knocks and bumps, just try to continue. You could quickly apologize for it, but you don't want your reflex to be stopping whenever you get hit. So here I'm just trying to control him. Again, minimal effort.
Yep.
No, your teddy bear's arrested.
So there I made space and pulled him back in. I'm looking for my collar choke. And he was able to escape. And then I came up to a passing position, knee slice, passing position.
6 inches off the ground. Okay.
So here we're going to do a little bit of a kung fu hand fighting.
That's 5 minutes.
A minute 30.
Okay.
A minute 30 only? Oh. No, a minute 30 left. And I started about a minute in because I couldn't.
Gil forgot to set the timer or something. But as you can see, whenever he tries to grab me, I just deflect. I'm not even trying to re-grab, I'm just deflecting.
Robbie, you could come in and
Like Yip Man. So now I'm trying to pass incrementally, and at this point, I tell him, okay, let's reset in the middle. And he swept me at that exact moment. So I tried to re-sweep him. and I pushed him off the mat like a successful sumo.
I know, if I go in the middle, he sweeps
Oh,
it.
I'm sorry. Sorry. No, it's a nice sweep though.
So he's apologizing for not. That's just a funny thing that happened. I said, all right, let's restart in the middle. And at that moment, he like scissor sweeped me.
Right back up.
It wasn't really anybody's fault. It was just funny timing. And that's what's great about training with somebody that you know doesn't have a big ego. And he wasn't just doing it to win. You know it was just an honest mistake. So here he's trying, like his typical pass, shuck the knee, run around, very sloppy, all bad angles.
Nice. You're with Gil now.
But he'll refine that over time.
In the eye once.
Sorry.
Oh, listen.
So now I'm going to do something I haven't done before. I'm going to let
Let him in the eye.
Gil and Mario spar so you can kind of see
Get over there.
how they go at each other
Yeah, yeah.
Mario's
in comparison to how I handle them,
Sorry, Mario.
or how much effort I'm using compared to how much effort they're using. Put it to you this way. You're going to hear a lot of heavy breathing and possibly some grunting. So Gil tries to do some wild acid drop. Mario was able to base. Now Mario's trying to shift his hips to pass the guard, but he's getting involved in that hand fighting before his waist is in front of the knees. So what he should do is just go 2-on-1 right to Gil's leg and peel that leg off. Forget that hand fighting, forget trying to grab Gil, his torso. There's knees in between you. So there, Gil almost got the sweep. Mario had to stand up. It's funny watching them because the aggression just keeps amping. It's like, oh, you're going to try that hard? Well, then I'm going to go this hard. But meanwhile, you're just running into a wall. So that's good. Mario's got a couple of points of connection, but what he doesn't realize is his right hand wasn't doing anything. He was just using it to sit up, instead of pulling Gil into a guard and sweeping or submitting. He was in a guard and then trying to stand up. So that was a beautiful scissor sweep. I think it's pretty much the same one he hit on me after I said reset in the middle. Just kidding.
Reset in the middle for mount. Reset in the middle for mount.
So now they're resetting in the middle.
Beautiful sweep.
That was really nice.
Beautiful.
It was really nice.
So a lot of good white belts and new blue belts, many times they need to learn how to hold a position. So if they finally pass and they get into mount or they get into, you see Mario already, Gil already got half guard back. Because Mario doesn't yet understand the finer details of holding a position.
Reset in the middle.
With his level of experience, he should be able to hold Gil down.
Top of it.
So there they almost went into the camera.
How do we know
I think it's at this point that I check Gil's phone and realize the timer's not running. But I guessed pretty accurately how many minutes were left in the round.
Fuck me.
And we've reset it.
Just do 2 minutes.
No, we never started.
Go. Top of half guard. Go.
So Mario does a good thing there. He starts with his right knee pointed towards the ceiling, and that prevents Gil from getting his hooks in. Then Mario just did a pass that I do all the time.
Works slow too.
But as you can see now, he's kind of struggling on how to maintain that pin. And he's already getting bench pressed off. And now he's turning to his knees. At that point, I advised Mario to spin to the back. Instead, he sat for a guillotine on the wrong side. And that's only going to lead to getting his guard passed. But again, when you're under stress, that's when you make mistakes. So you have to have everything honed to such a high level that even under stress, you won't make mistakes. So there, Gil just tried to run around his guard with bad angles, and it was easy for him to maintain. It's like he was just falling into him.
Put your feet on his hips, set something up. Right? Put your feet on his hips, set something up, right? There you go.
I'm just giving Mario a little advice because I'm seeing some things that I know he should be doing different
Nice, Gil.
and better, more refined at this point. That was a good gator roll by Gil. I didn't know he possessed such great
20
skills.
seconds.
But it was wild and sloppy, and it could lead to injury. So it looks cool, it felt cool, but he could have done that slowly in a more controlled
12
manner.
seconds.
A lot of time.
Not to say that he was doing it with malicious intent.
Gil. Good. Good. Mario, stay in. I'll go with you. I mean, Gil. I'm sorry. Gil, stay in.
So you shouldn't be laying out like that after a roll. I know a lot of people, we kind of just think it's normal, but believe me,
Pick 5 minutes.
you shouldn't be destroyed after one round.
You're both making a lot of basic mistakes that are easy to correct.
Yeah?
Yeah. So, I'm sorry. I pressed that.
So here I'm asking him to set the clock properly.
Like hip switching, stuff like that.
You could see his gigantic pectoral muscles.
Escape, mount escape, like just, I've seen a lot of stuff. That's why I try not to say anything. 5 minutes?
This yours, Mario?
I have one here. I have
So now
one,
they've
just
confused
where it
belts.
is.
That's when you know you're... See, that's a great example of your mind slipping
Mine's the newer one.
because it's been put under too much stress. When you're not getting enough oxygen to the brain, you can't even make simple decisions. Never mind subtle decisions, which is what jiu-jitsu is. So he's strong, he goes hard, he's in sanitation. And, you know, he understands jiu-jitsu on some level. But here I'm just looking for a butterfly sweep, but it's causing him to base. When he bases like that, it gives me the ability to kick out his knee. But there I was working on a choke. It's hard to see from here. But that's why his posture was down. I had the cross collar choke. See, he's almost always floating. So for me, it's less energy. I'm just in my position. My legs are on top, folded up into each other like a table. So I'm not getting tired. And he's in a constant state of worrying about getting swept. Now I was able to get behind his arm, behind his tricep on the left arm, which is my goal. But he pushed me off, you know, stronger than me, was able to make space and get it back. So as you can see, I'm in the same butterfly guard position. That's why I'm able to stay calm there. I'm not just getting past. That was a good move on his part. He did some decent leg pummeling and forced me to just grab quarter guard. But again, if you watch the channel, you know I'm comfortable in this position. because I know I have the leg controlled. I have his left leg controlled with my two legs. So now he's trying to roll me over and take my back, but it was in a super sloppy way, and that's why I think we both got a kick out of it. And now I'm trying to pass his guard. He's holding his legs as tight as he can. So it's forcing me to do like the shoulder pressure in the face. So here I'm looking for an Americana or to get some reaction, but he's got his left arm hooked around my right arm, which was a strange response that I wasn't expecting. So there I was looking for the paper cutter choke, and he pulled himself violently to the left, and then I switched back to the Americana. There he rolled over, and I should have taken his back, but the gi was a little too sticky, and it rolled me further than I wanted. But I was able to grab his collar on the way down and finish with the choke. I have to make a shirt. I love loop chokes. So as you can see, I'm still trying to be relaxed. I reset my mind from any escalation that might have happened. There I was able to sweep him with a very short, non-flashy sweep, very effective. There's always an opening. Sometimes you have to go in the complete opposite direction of what you think is. You have to become, when George Costanza does the everything opposite George, well, that's how you have to become. Because when you're a beginner, every mistake you make is wrong. You might as well try the opposite. I think statistically you'll get more right that way.
Sorry, you okay? Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Okay.
So there I was kneed in the mouth, which is common in the sport of jiu-jitsu, and he stopped and apologized, and as you could see, I said, nope, just keep going.
Done. Sorry.
Oh, and that ends the round.
Good stuff.
Oh. Very sorry. Good,
Sitting on somebody's belt.
So,
So now we're going to go over some
puffing up.
I'm sorry. I really am.
of the mistakes that I felt like I
That's why you gotta
noticed,
think slower, and then you'll be more conscious of stuff.
and a couple of things that I think might
You know,
help their
it's
game.
exploding from one move to the other. You stick your thumb in the guy's eye. I smacked Mario. So,
I'm going to start leaving more of this in the videos. If you don't want me to do that, you want the videos to be shorter with no technique at the end, just leave a message. If not, if you want longer videos like this
you're like,
with more explanations in the end, I might have to take a survey.
And then see how he came off me a little bit?
Okay.
So
Now
here
I
I'm showing a
replaced
mount
that
escape.
space, right, with my frame. Now he's on my frame for a second. And now I'm back.
Into single leg X, it looked like.
Right? Okay, so he's coming up on you. Hang on. Don't make space. Okay. You get it? Go ahead, try it on. This is an important.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You know,
It's an important principle. Like once you get the hang of it, you could use it in many different types of situations. So
Yes.
hip, try to get him over your shoulder. Right, you want to make him light, and then look, A-frame right to his waist.
Oh, wait.
Right, see how he's peeling him off you?
Yeah.
You want to make space between your waist and his waist.
Okay, and then you get.
There's the bonus cat in the video.
Right?
2 blue belts and a cat.
hip-
It
so maybe
it
you
wasn't
gotta
just
take a
clickbait.
couple of bumps. Hip bump, couple of shrimps. Right, you can go that way if it goes too far. It's going to take work.
Mario just
Right?
found an alternative way
It could
out.
take in combination
He
with
basically
this.
went the opposite way of what I said, but you can go that way as well. The
So
cat
hip
is
bump,
fascinated
when
by our
after you
jiu-jitsu,
hip
our
bump,
primitive
look,
jiu-jitsu
you
by
land
his
on your
standards.
side with the frame and you bring your knee in. Right? Look. Look. Hip bump. Right? Frame. land on his side, bring your knee in. When you hip bump, you're bringing him up here, and then you're going to hold him there with your frame. But your frame's not going to hold him forever.
Yeah.
Right? You could always do extra squirms and stuff, but just remember to make your initial hip bump big enough and your shrimp off the hip bump. So once I get his hips off me, right, they're up in the air for a second, that's when I'm going to turn.
Okay.
Once I'm on my side, if you're in mount, it's a very unstable position for you.
I played a bucking game when I was bucking. They go out and back up.
Exactly. Huh?
He's so nimble. I don't know how you have his little legs, but they get in there.
So I just want to get the weight off my hips. Look, see, if he's tight here, he's going to give this up.
Okay.
And so I'm going to start to starting to get out.
Okay. So the reason why you got my leg was because of the way I
Of the reaction that you gave
Okay.
me,
Okay.
right? Which is a common reaction.
So
It's
this
either
is different. That's why.
it's either that or put a lot of weight, and then I could just slide under your knee, because you became too static and weak in that area. Right?
You know how you say you always have points of contact?
Mm-hmm.
I find it hard
So now Gil is asking me about points of connection,
to maintain a
and he
contact.
thinks he finds it hard to make those points because he said he's doesn't have long limbs.
Harder, I think.
So then, what would be the
Because-
first?
But I would say the opposite is true.
Well, do in what position?
Usually.
So what are you saying? Stubby likes to play
I
guard?
think it's easy to get shorter legs involved in guard, especially when it comes to X guard
There's one,
or
there's two.
single leg
There
X.
you go. 3, 4. That's it.
I think having long
That's
legs in
fine.
those positions is a disadvantage,
Don't extend
though
where
I
your
did
leg
learn
is.
how to play them.
Just trying to like touch there or something.
No, but just
But
scoot.
Marcelo's
Yeah,
got the
just scoot.
perfect
So I'm
body
here, look,
size
I'm back here,
for
trying to get to me. There you go.
that
Scoot.
style.
Bring yourself to me. Right?
Okay. And what would you do?
And
You
then
go
points of-
inside here like butterfly.
Well,
Cat
yeah,
is an
it depends,
apt
but
pupil,
yeah,
I must
probably.
say.
If the guy's on his knees, you do that. Depends where the guy is. If he's
Oh.
standing, I'm going to do something totally
So
different.
now I'm explaining
You
that
don't
if
have to
somebody's
sit in front of
standing, I won't be
somebody in
playing butterfly
butterfly
guard. I'll
guard.
probably be, closing the distance,
That's butterfly guard
looking for De La
territory.
Hiva, looking to
Yeah.
grab the ankle,
Yeah.
looking to
Yeah,
wrestle up.
So sit on your knees. So what I like to do is come in. Get
Now I'm
one,
showing a
control
basic
the
butterfly
arm,
sweep.
Right? So even if you're grabbing
I have a
the head,
short
right,
video
you go like that.
where I
Right
hit
here.
one.
And then by the time you go to sweep, by the time you don't have time to put that arm out.
Right.
It's here.
I'm
You're
stressing the
holding on.
fact that he
Next
doesn't
thing you know,
have
you're
time
done.
to base if he's
And it's
clinched
too
on my
late.
neck.
Look, what are you going to do?
So the
You can't even turn your hand. Your hand is this way. If I sweep you, you got to turn your hand to stop yourself.
Right.
So once it's here, so you want to get the guy trapped.
Also, another little detail is to slide your body under. So if you not only do you want to pick the guy on top of you, you want to slide yourself under. So if you watch the way I did that, it was very yin-yang.
Right, but there's a little more to it.
So that's why it looked smooth. It was like a circle. I slid under and brought him over.
Bring the guy on top of you, right? So look.
See,
how-
here I'm doing it
Nice and easy,
slowly.
look. I'm not going crazy or anything. And then you just sweep more.
Mary did beautiful.
Well, that was different.
That's scissor sweep.
That's a scissor sweep.
But
Yeah, he hit it on me,
usually,
'cause I was trying to
if
do
you're
that.
rolling, you have to do it
I'm busting.
with more urgency. Though I have hit it very slow like that before. As you can see, the cat is now practicing
So,
that position.
So, and you do this too. So he'll hook you. And then you guys keep trying to pass this way and just trying to back
Here
out
I'm
like
showing
this.
a way to pass the knee shield.
Oh, come on.
Look, I'm out.
Instead of running straight into it, you can actually turn your hips in the almost opposite direction to back step away from it.
Turn my intentions away. Right?
Got it.
And then go to mount
Wow.
if you want it.
Wait, try it.
That's messed up. 'Cause we were really like fighting all the time here. And then
You're getting stuck here all the time. Turn your hips back. There you go.
Well, that's a little bit
Now, that's
different
another
of a
story.
situation
Now,
than what we
pressure
just
right
went
knee
over.
Across his center line to the other side. That's
But
all you
from
do.
there,
Just
if
take
he
it
can
back.
get his
into a mount position.
knee above the
You want to flatten him there.
Okay.
You want to take everything away from
thigh
him. You wanna
line,
feel like
then he can just
goes
switch it
holding on
across
to
the
the
waist and go to
guard.
mount, which is what I wish another part of what I was explaining. So even if you can't free your leg totally when you're in the top of half guard, you can just slide your knee across to the other side and take 3/4 mount.
Right?
So what do you think? I shouldn't do that?
through.
I've been doing that, putting a lot of pressure.
That's
No,
good.
you can put a lot of pressure if you're using
So
it
these
for-
sessions are good. We don't do them all the time because we all train at the same school together, and you know, we go to regular classes usually. On Wednesday open mat, we do more of this,
Right, but that kind of immobilizes you.
where we discuss things afterwards, discuss deficiencies. And when I see problems in their jiu-jitsu, it just strengthens what I know is right about mine.
Taught us 2 weeks ago.
So there I showed a mount to Americana.
That's so funny. Did he tell you this?
No, in the class,
Teaching just reinforces what we know, and it forces us to be able to come up with a better catalog that defines what we're trying to convey.
Right, there you go. Switch your hips.
Yeah, I've been doing that.
Some people are great at jiu-jitsu, but they're not good at teaching it because they haven't put the effort into becoming good at teaching.
That I've been using. So you take my, you're here, right? Many times the guy puts his
I don't
leg
think
up,
I'm a good teacher. I think I'm proficient, but I want to be a good teacher one day. I want to be
Right, once I have this hook
a great conveyor of information.
and sweep him, but even
So
if I
here
don't
I'm
sweep
showing
him,
my
there's
my
no way
escape
you
that's
can
been in a lot of my videos. If you're somebody that watches the channel by now, you should be using this.
You're here, so as soon as I get my guard passed, I'm always thinking, do I still have
I call it the hook escape.
Because if I still have that,
Yeah, I have to.
I used to just kick the guy over in an uncontrolled manner, but I've I've refinanced. But anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you.